You need to hear this if you're a student of history. The Cold War, a time of tension, a time of fear. It was a clash of giants, the United States and the Soviet Union, locked in a global power struggle. Imagine a world split in two, each half holding its breath, waiting for the other to blink. That was the Cold War. From the ashes of World War II, a new conflict emerged. No bombs dropped, no trenches dug. This was a war of ideas, of influence, of espionage. The United States, champion of capitalism and democracy, faced off against the Soviet Union, a communist behemoth advocating for a world revolution. The stakes were high. The fate of the world hung in the balance. Would freedom prevail, or would the iron fist of communism crush all opposition? The Cold War was a defining chapter of the 20th century, shaping the geopolitical landscape for generations to come. The United States and the Soviet Union had fought side by side during World War II, allies against a common enemy. But beneath the surface, deep suspicions simmered. Their ideologies, capitalism and communism, were fundamentally opposed. One valued individual freedom, the other, collective equality. As the war ended, these ideological differences came to the fore. The Soviet Union, led by the ruthless Joseph Stalin, sought to expand its influence across Eastern Europe, installing communist regimes in its wake. The United States, fearing the spread of communism, countered with the Truman Doctrine, pledging to support any nation resisting communist aggression. The Iron Curtain descended across Europe, dividing East and West. In the East, satellite states under Soviet control. In the West, democracies aligned with the United States. The stage was set for a global confrontation. The Cold War was far from cold. While never erupting into direct conflict between the superpowers, it was punctuated by moments of extreme tension, pushing the world to the brink of nuclear war. Berlin, a city divided, became a microcosm of the Cold War. The Berlin blockade from 1948 to 49 saw the Soviets attempt to starve West Berlin into submission. The Berlin Wall, erected in 1961, stood as a stark symbol of division, a concrete manifestation of the Iron Curtain. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 brought the world closer to nuclear war than ever before. Soviet missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from U.S. shores, triggered a tense standoff. For 13 days, the fate of the world hung in the balance, until diplomacy averted disaster. The Cold War was a battle of wills between larger-than-life figures, each embodying the ideals of their respective nations. On the American side, presidents like Harry Truman, John F. Kennedy, and Ronald Reagan stood as staunch defenders of freedom and democracy. Truman, with his Truman Doctrine, laid the foundation for containment. Kennedy, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, stared down Soviet aggression. Reagan, with his unwavering anti-communist stance, challenged the very foundation of the Soviet system. On the Soviet side, Joseph Stalin's iron grip on power shaped the early years of the Cold War. Nikita Khrushchev, known for his shoe-banging antics at the United Nations, oversaw the Cuban Missile Crisis. Leonid Brezhnev presided over a period of stagnation and decline. These leaders, each in their own way, left an indelible mark on the Cold War. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical content.